And good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Taipei at the University of Taipei Tianmu Arena for tonight's game here in the BCL Asia Group B fixture between our hosts, the new Taipei City Kings, and the visitors, South China Athletic from Hong Kong, China. Second meeting between these two teams is just over, or under a fortnight, I should say. The last time they met was in Causeway Bay, the heart of Hong Kong, China, in which South China Athletic had a very big victory against the Kings. Well, in this window, we kick-started things with the Taipei Pilots, the champions of the Plus League, as they took care of business against both the Kings and South China Athletic, the Broncos. They'll be in town tomorrow night as they'll be taking on the new Taipei City Kings, and then they will later take on the Taipei Pilots on the 21st. Well, there are your current standings in both Groups A and B. Group B last night, High-Tech Basketball, a big win for them against Johor Southern Tigers, the champions of Malaysia, falling to third place. While in Group A, it's only the Pilots, who currently are undefeated along with the Broncos. Well, this game does feature the champions of Chinese Taipei's TPPL, which they did win against the Kaohsiung Aquas last season in a 7-game epic series. But the Kings, last season failing to get to BCL Asia East Final that would have seen them qualify for the final tournament. They'll go up against the champions of Hong Kong, China. Well, the key thing to understand tonight is that SCA, they could lose this game and still have the head-to-head. There are the traveling fans who've made the journey from Hong Kong, China, all the way here to Chinese Taipei. But if they win, it would be a massive boost for them. Remember, top 3 teams in Group B will go on to the final 6. And with that 19-point win they had in Hong Kong, China, they can still lose and still stay ahead of them. But then they'd have to rely on the Kings not winning another game. So if SCA wins tonight, that will be big for them to propel their chances of getting to the final 6. Well, we'll take a look at some of the key players from both teams, because Dominic Gilbert will be a huge addition. Now, he didn't play against the Puyin Pilots, but he has been a huge X factor. There's Glenn Yang, who does play for the national team, had an outstanding shooting night against the Pilots. Well, look, another feature who does play for the national team as well. I mean, many of these players have played in FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Kevon Davenport has been one of their leading scorers. They need him to have a monumental game tonight. Well, here comes the new face. Many regard him as the future of Hong Kong China basketball. The player that will hopefully lead them one day to another FIBA Asia Cup, which they haven't done since 2017. And who knows, maybe a FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, there's the man they missed against the Pilots. Born in Hong Kong, China, raised in Australia, but takes Croatian citizenship through his mother, where he played many years of his pro career in Croatia. Coach Lo Yiteng, of course, a great player, one of the greatest point guards in the history of Hong Kong China basketball. But now, let's turn our attentions to the new Taipei City Kings. Well, Jalen Harris has been one of the top scorers in this team, along with Joseph Lin, who now is going to be playing his second game in BCL Asia East. Well, Jaden Gardner, of course, had a very good game against South China Athletic when they last met, but they need him as well to have at least between 20 and 30 tonight, along with Jalen Harris. And there's the tank, Big Baby. Quite a big foundation for them last season. Remember, they lost their first game here in Chinese Taipei last season against the Broncos. That was the final game they hosted in the Chinese Taipei window. And there is Jordan Tolbert, now featuring for his third club here in BCL Asia East. Well, the Kings know they've got to win tonight, but not only a victory, they must win by more than 19 points to secure the head-to-head against South China Athletic. Well, we're going to introduce our 3 referees very soon, along with our commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game. We're very proud to say we have 3 of the very finest who have experience at FIBA Asia Cup, Basketball World Cups, and even the Basketball Olympics. The commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game is Trianti, because we will see our 3 referees very soon. Our referees indeed are coming from Indonesia, Kazakhstan, and Thailand. From Thailand, we have Natapong Chontapa. From Kazakhstan, we have Alexei Stepanenko. And from Indonesia, we have Budi Marfan. So a big thank you to all of our officials. They'll do a magnificent job tonight in BCL Asia East 2026 between the new Taipei City Kings and South China Athletic. Time now to look at the starting fives. We'll probably begin with the visitors. Now, what I find interesting is Coach Lo Yiting really likes to go with Calvin Sang as the primary starting point guard. Now, he does bring the veteran, and I would say combo guard Glenn Yang off the bench, which so far has been a good combo for them. Now, if you go back to the first window, the 2 games they were defeated in against Broncos and Pilots were very close, because they played very well in both the second and third quarter in the heavy defeat against the Pilots. But, well, they're going to go with Kevon Davenport, Calvin Sang, Rodrigo Andela will be inside, along with Hong Kong China national Yip Yuapong and Dominic Gilbert. Well, a lot of options coming off the bench tonight for South China Athletic, but it's got to be tempo, but also cool, calm, collected, and controlled basketball from the visitors. Well, they're going to do it Hong Kong China style, and that's Lam Kao. Tonight, their opponents, well, it'll be all about Lan Cho. Well, he's one of the greatest, probably one of the most stable point guards, born and raised in Shenzhen, just above Hong Kong, China, but represented the national team, as I mentioned. Last time was nearly a decade ago in Beirut, Lebanon, at the 2017 FIBA Asia Cup. And now he progresses his career as head coach of the greatest team from Hong Kong, China. But let's take a look at the starting 5 for the new Taipei City Kings. Jalen Harris will be in the backcourt along with Joseph Lin, as well as Lee Kai-Yen. So the natural power forward will be Jaden Gardner and Jordan Tolbert. And that's a 1 through 5 3-point starting 5. Every player becomes a threat from the perimeter. Well, I think the key factor tonight has got to be Joseph Lin, because he started off very well against the Pilots. But you got to remember, this team, because they have a hefty schedule in the TPBL, the domestic league, which they may even have to play in the play-ins just to get to the playoffs to try and defend their championship. But the good thing for them is hope is still alive here in BCL Asia for the new Taipei City Kings. Hong Shishan, you may remember him, of course, a legendary player, played alongside Lin Zijian. Of course, one of the players he's coaching tonight, Lu Tsun-Ju. They played in the 2013 FIBA Asia Cup in Manila, Philippines. That historic win against China, only to lose in the semifinals against Haddadi in Iran. Let's listen now to what the coach has to say.
JT, Jaden, Joe, Jaden, dribble handoff with Kyle and stay corner. JT, follow the Jaden, stay on ball screen. Roll， 凯燕不行，传给 Jaden，Jaden 再跟Joe打中间点这边，Jaden 跟下来。Okay, let's first play dribble. Hey， 防守篮板。转换快攻，这2件事一定要做好。OK， 哎，开始就专注哦。
Hong Shishan having some final words of inspiration with his players as he tries to propel them to what is a must-win game for the new Taipei City Kings. Remember, a victory may not even be enough to get them into that 3rd place. They must win by more than which they were defeated by South China Athletic in Hong Kong, China. And the Kings know full well they turned up to Causeway Bay at the Southern Arena. Quite frankly, not that they were unprepared, just they underestimated the talent. Now, I take it back. They actually have to win by more than 21 as they lost 103 to 82 against South China Athletic. Every play matters, every possession. Hong Shishan, even at the end of that game, tried to call one final timeout to try to minimize the deficit, because had they lost by 19, maybe 18, that's still a better margin than losing by 21 if you need to beat that score to get ahead of your opponents.
For South China Athletic, number 10,
Well, fans, BCL Asia East providing a lot of opportunities. So again, we have upcoming windows in Bangkok, Thailand, as well as Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. So if you want to get involved, contact your local organizing committee. And also, if you're a basketball journalist or content creator, hashtag BCL Asia, get your accreditation. And why not join us? Join us here in Chinese Taipei, join us in Bangkok, and join us in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. And once we know where the final 6 is, come and join us then. Welcome everybody live here at the University of Taipei Tianmu Gymnasium. Jordan Tolbert jumping with Cameroon's national team player, Rodrigo Ndella. Kings will have first play. Lee Cayenne curling the backcourt. Gardner going to that dribble handoff. Calvin Sang trying to get close up with Joseph Lin. Lin attacks the gaps, goes in for a floater, and a good start for Lin Sanity. Well, he got the first few points in the heavy defeat against the Pilots. He's got to remain a scoring factor tonight here for the new Taipei City Kings. Calvin Sang. Now we're at the 10 here on the shot clock. Gilbert just going to the ground. Got to ISO here against Gardner. Gets a quick mid-range up, can't get it. And Ndella offensive rebound. And now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, that's the benefit of having Dominic Gilbert. Time is winding down on the shot clock. It just became an imminent threat to the Kings defense. Rodrigo Ndella currently 9 out of 15 in the first 3 games here in BCL Asia East, averaging 15.5 points per game. As he makes the first one. Second one, no good. Still a slender 1-point lead early on here for the new Taipei City Kings. King coming around, Gardner coming around. Now Harris pulls up from 15. That mid-range automatic. Smooth play by the Jordanian international. The experience of playing for Jordan in FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Davenport wants to set a screen for Gilbert. Now they want to run one with Calvin Sang. Sang still has it, finds Davenport. Good defense by Joseph Lin. Davenport, pump fakes. And another foul committed by the Kings. So Kevon Davenport will go to the free throw line. Well, the double team is coming, and Lin, that time just falling for the pump fake. Because it was good defense up until then. Nearly averaging a double-double so far. Just under 8 rebounds and 18 points per game. Because the experience of playing in BCL Europe when he played for Cholet Basket during the midst of the global pandemic. But it was only a brief time he was there. Second free throw, no good. And Ndella fights for it. Gilbert comes up with it. Fighting for second chances, Davenport. Now he'll fire a deep 3 from downtown and get it. The first time for a bowl of the evening. Well, if they continue to light it up like they did at Causeway Bay, this could be a problem for the Kings. But now Gardner, he'll pull up mid-range, and that's automatic. SCA's got to decide whether they want to bump, show, or switch. If you're a neutral fan, you want to see this go right down to the wire. Yipupon coming up that high screen. Now we're at the 10 here on the shot clock. Sang's got to make a choice. Calvin finds Gilbert. Yipupon will pull up from 15 on the baseline. Patient yet effective basketball from SCA. Well, this team much better beginning to this game than they did against the Taiyuan Puyan Pilots. This new Taipei Kings running thing now finding Tolbert, but they're going to turn this one over. Yipupon comes up with it. He's got Ndella ahead of him. Sang wide open. Finds Gilbert. Gilbert bumps. Yipupon made his last shot and goes for another one. The fans from Hong Kong, China sitting behind the bench. Right now rallying behind their team. Well, Jaden Gardner took a few threes and he'll get this one to go. Because he led them in scoring when they last met in Causeway Bay. Nothing separating these two teams in the first few minutes. Sang heavily defended. That's good defense. Oh, well. Count it. That's going to be an &1. Well, it's the shift and shake, the hesitation by Calvin Sang here. Let's have a look at the bump. That's a good call because he's just in his gather step. So potential 3-point play coming up for SCA.
Knock him out, hey.
Three-point play converted. Harris working around the screen with Poacher Hong. Deep three goes flying and just gets that one to bounce in with a shooter's roll. Oh, Kings, much better beginning from the three-point line than they did in their first two games. Still nothing separating both SCA and the new Taipei City Kings. Sang kicks out. Davenport's made one already, and he'll make another one. Well, it's the Sanford Bowl and the Sanford Show Party at the moment. Oh, Gardner will try again. That time a little too short. Davenport comes up with it. SCA lead by 3. Davenport goes in, and another foul drawn, so that's going to be a fourth and final team foul against the Kings. With 6:08, the South China Athletic yet to commit a foul. Here's the deep Sanford Bowl from downtown. And already, both teams finding their confidence from the three-point line. But the one struggle at the moment here for SCA has been the free throws. SCA not shooting the ball very well from the charity stripe. That time good, extending it to a 2-possession lead. Davenport moving up to 7 points. Kings again running through Jalen Harris. Lee Kai-Yen, plenty of time here on the shot clock. Well, Harris steps into another one. This is deep, and this guy is unconscious at the moment. Kings and SCA feeling it from downtown. As Calvin Sang goes to his left. That's a nice little separation from him, but no defense been applied there as he comfortably walks his way into the paint. Well, Joseph Lin quickly, nice hesitation, beautiful pass, and finding Jaden Gardner. Well, that's a good vision by Joseph Lin. Most recently featured for Chinese Taipei's national team at the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. But Sang finds Gilbert, and it's all way too easy at the moment. Neither team exhibiting any tough defense inside the key. Well, an offensive foul is going to be given. And I think this is on Wang Po-Chi. They're going to call an illegal screen. Let's have a look in. Well, there's a three-pointer by. There's a little teardrop. And good hands by Jaden Gardner to find that one. Well, the foul was called on Wang Po-Chi, Big Baby. Sang Bucks goes in another round one, and the Kings defense giving way too much to SCA at the moment. Wow, it's intelligent play by Calvin Sang, because patiently he waits for the contact from Lee Kai-Yen, and a timeout is going to be called by Coach Hong Shishan. Still only a 5-point lead to SCA. But we'll head down to the Kings bench to find out what the message is going to be.
No push now, no push now. Everyone, you hey. Okay, let's go. Hey.
Well, there's another look at the foul. That's a good call. That's a foul on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day that ends in a Y. And you can, I mean, the frustration from the Kings is understandable, but at the same time, Lee Kai-Yen has got to anticipate if you're going to chase Calvin Sang like that, you can't go into him full speed if he's going to stop, because that's what he wants. He's going to wait for you to bump him. Calvin Sang, another chance to maybe extend this to a 6-point lead. He's got 7 points at the moment. 3-point play converted. Well, SCA just getting a polite reminder to leave the ball alone once it goes in the bucket. Just under 5 minutes here in the first quarter. It's going to be another turnover. Good hands by Gilbert. And here comes SCA. Sang weighs up his options, but wants to go to Davenport. Harris tries to stand strong on defense. Davenport, tough fadeaway. And Della battles, but Tolbert that time prevented the offensive rebound. Kings have man up as Harris. Again, it's another unforced turnover. Davenport looks to go for your step. Good defense by Harris, and that's going to be a traveling violation. And good defense by Jalen Harris. Oh, watch here. Hands high. Doesn't reach, doesn't commit himself. That's good defense. Well, Glenn Yang of the Hong Kong China national team subbing into the game for Calvin Sang. Coach Lo Yi-Ting trying to rotate his 2-point guards. Harris got it by Andela. Pulls up inside the paint, goes in. And tough finish by Jay Harris. Well, he's probably one of the toughest individual players to guard here in BCL Asia East. Oh, Davenport spits a defense, goes in. No contact, no foul given. And now here come the Kings. Lin, 3, transition, 6 it. And all of a sudden now it's a 1-point deficit. A solid 5-0 run here for the new Taipei City Kings. Oh, Gilbert thinks about it. Oh, trying to give it a go of Andela. Tough jump hook. And now Kings can take the lead. Oh, Lin, why not? Left wide open. Almost got it. Well, Choi Kwon Sai finds Dominic Gilbert. And that's going to be a traveling violation. The hesitation. Didn't know what to do with it. So Kings getting ready to make a change. So coming into the game now for the new Taipei City Kings. Here's a look at the 3-pointer. The Sanford show by Joseph Lin. Well, he can make it rain. He can be a factor for this team. Well, now Toba goes in, throws it down with one hand. Well, the defense didn't see that one coming. Well, BCL Asia East champion last season in Mongolia. And that's on the defense. Well, they've got to be aware of where JT is on the floor. Kings lead by 1. Gilbert now goes to his left. Andela forcing a switch. Well, Gilbert nowhere to go. Another unforced turnover. Now here come the Kings. Lin Yen-Ting. Now finding Lim wide open. Goes up against Davenport. He says, not in your house. Oh, should have gone for the 3-pointer. Well, thou shalt not enter the paint. Harris finds time, space, curl screen. This guy continues to cook it up tonight. And Lo Yi-Ting is gonna call timeout. New Taipei Kings leading by 3 points with 1:55 to go here in the first quarter. Well, we're gonna head down to their bench to find out what the message is gonna be.
Don't forget, double check. Push big out. We can go under first because they will say sticker. First action is fake. 88. Yeah, don't hedge on screen here. G on head. Hey, middle guy. Remember, pack. Let him pass number 12. Lane pass 咁樣跳，OK lane pass 咁樣跳，lane pass 嚟一個林書偉繼續 local，OK 明白？keep it，OK。Quick side 跟住 keep on time。OK，let's go。
Well, Jalen Harris has been an offensive dynamite so far here for the new Taipei City Kings. Already 12 points, the only player in double figures so far. SCA's got to find some rhythm offensively, because they got to get Glenn Yang some looks from the perimeter. Yang penetrates, kicks out, Lung. Time winding down here for SCA. Yang's got to go. Yang gets straight to the bucket, and what an ISO move from Glenn Yang. Well, he's almost like the Theo Papaloukas, the Greek legend who used to come off the bench for the national team. That's how good Glenn Yang is. Well, finding Lin there. Lin penetrates, another kick out. Gardner wide open. Did he have his foot in the line? That's gonna be a three-pointer. Well, Kings right now lighting it up from downtown. Make that the 5th three-pointer so far here in the first quarter. Extending it to a 4-point lead, Davenport. He's trying to throw a lob there to Andela. Now Kings have numbers. They'll go quickly from the mid-range. Gardner comes up, and a foul is gonna be called. And Jaden Gardner now will go to the free throw line. Well, here's the tough spin out by Glenn Yang, a true ISO move. And there's the three-pointer by Jaden Gardner. Well, Gardner averaging 24 points in his first 2 games here in BCL Asia East. Those free throws have been inconsistent. It's only 8 out of 14 coming into this game. Second one good. Still a 5-point cushion currently to the defending champions of the TPBL. But SCA's got to find that rhythm, reassert themselves into the offense. Yang, another curl screen. Davenport's got to make something happen here. Tries to force his way in. Lund pump fakes, pulls up from 19. Oh, good defense by Jordan Tolbert. And now here come the Kings. Oh, good hands by Glenn Yang. Kings can't have to, well, there you go. Andela. Well, things getting very physical. Kings will have one final play. Harris goes up, pulls up for it. There it is. And still a few bit of time. Luke could put it up from the half court. There you have it. 5-point lead to the new Taipei City Kings as we head into the second quarter. BCL Asia East 2026. Live here at the University of Taipei, Tianmu Arena. We'll be back in under 2 minutes. Welcome back, basketball fans. Live here at the University of Taipei Tianmu Arena. BCL Asia East currently a 5-point lead to the defending champions of the TBBL against the defending champions of A1 League in Hong Kong, China. Glenn Yang goes back door, finds Dominic Gilbert wide open. Takes his time, really got it to go. Here's where Kings have got to build this. Remember, they've got to win by more than 21 to win that potential head-to-head in case these two teams get tied on the same record. Well, Harris has been their leading scorer. He's got 12 points. Gardner thinks about it. Good defense by Andela. And that's going to be a 24-second violation. May have just taken a little too much time to get into that offense. So Calvin Sang in the lineup here, sharing the backcourt with Glenn Yang. Sang goes in, hard foul. It's a good block. I think the foul is committed by Lee Kai-yen, I believe. Well, that she might be called on Qian Yo-che. But still, it means free throws coming up for Calvin Sang. The free throw worry still persists here for South China Athletic. Now, 5 out of 9 from the free throw line. Second one no good either. Andela fights for it. Put back no good, but Davenport goes in. Well, they completely forgot to box out Kevon Davenport. One possession deficit here, but Kings hang on. Tolbert with a seal off, and that's going to be a foul on the ground. That's only Andela's second personal foul, so not too much of a concern for him to be worried about. Lee Kai-yen back in the lineup here for the new Taipei City Kings. Time winding down here. Lee Kai-yen's got to make a choice. Pump fakes, goes for a deep three. Tolbert comes up with it. Well, Dominic Gilbert felt he got thrown to the ground. So that's a big bucket coming up from Jordan Tolbert. Still 5 points separates these two teams. Yang getting that screen, goes to his right. Finds Sang. Sang bumps. Tries to go off the bank, but can't finish. Kings now looking for their biggest advantage. Well, nice give and go. Backdoor cut here by Gardner. Kicks out. They get a wide open look. The three no good. Well, that's going to be a foul on Jalen Harris. And that's a worrying sign there for Rodrigo Andela. I think Andela may have just landed awkwardly. That could be a big monumental loss here for South China Athletic. Well, we're going to have a review of this, so... It's probably the way he landed, so we'll try to keep you updated, but definitely it's a knee pain here for Rodrigo Andela. The officials just going to the monitor to find out if anything, which I don't think it does because they're coming away from the monitor now as we speak. I think that was just to try to figure out who had the last possession, but the good news is Andela is up on the ground. He's walking now, but he's going to have to go to the bench. So Yip Yue Pong is back in the lineup here for South China Athletic. Well, hopefully it's not too serious. Hopefully we'll see him back later tonight. If not, in the next window when we travel to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Jalen Harris still leading the score so far here for the Kings. Glenn Yang trying to keep him in front. It's good defense. Davenport comes up with it. Now Sang wants to run. Nice little Euro step action. Finishes the transition. And now cuts it down to a 3-point deficit. Transition points have been a good factor tonight for both teams. Nice little seal-off there from Jordan Tolbert, but the foul is going to be called on the ground. So that is where Kings have a mismatch. They have the height advantage now. Not sure if Rodrigo Andela is going to come back in the game. Andela's heading to the locker room, so that's a bit of a concern at the moment. Kings making a change. Joseph Lin will come back in the game. Lee Kai-Yang will inbound this. Well, they threw it away. They try to find Jaden Gardner. And now Calvin Sang wants to run. They'll go in and make it a 4-0 run for SCA. And that cuts it down to a 1-point deficit. Harris trying to find a handoff. Glenn Yang denied. Gardner now hesitates, goes behind the back. Little fadeaway, and it's just that tough. That was good defense, but it was better offense. Well, Davenport goes for a quick three, and nobody goes in for an offensive rebound. Kings lead by 3. Well, Tolbert has a mismatch. They kick out, find Joseph Lin. Lin tries to go off the bank, and sweet move by Joseph Lin. Remember, Kings must win by more than 21 to win the head-to-head. Yipio Pong. Wow, Gilbert was wide open. They didn't get it to him. Davenport tries from 15. And Yipio Pong draws a foul. That's only going to be the second team foul against the Kings. And that's what SCA missed. Somebody to go in and contest for second chance points. Put the Kings backcourt defense and front court under a bit of pressure. That's team foul number 3. Well, Lutsen Ju, the veteran, will sub into the game. He's one of the early heroes of Chinese Taipei basketball. Has played with the great Sean Chen and Lin Sijie, the beastling of the Taipei FIBA Braves. Sang finds an opening. Nice Euro step action. Yipio Pong on the baseline. Make it his 3rd field goal tonight. Well, he loves that mid-range game. Still a 3-point deficit. It's Harris working diligently with Jordan Tolbert, and now they force another turnover. Calvin Sang wants to run. Whoa, what a rejection! Jalen Harris just said, "Zaijian, bye-bye." What elevation. I thought he was going to go for the reverse slam, but he sent that one into the accredited media zone. What a block by Harris. Still 3 points separating New Taipei Kings and South China Athletic. Yang goes to his left. Davenport wants to go up against Gardner. Goes in. Can't finish. Good defense by Jaden Gardner. Almost halfway to go is now Harris. I think a foul is going to be called away from the ball. That's a holding foul on Calvin Sang, I think. Yep. See, SCA keep getting caught in this mismatch when either Glenn Yang, Calvin Sang have to defend Jordan Tolbert. That's happened one too many times. Now, a positive sign here for SCA. Rodrigo Andela has come back into the game. There's a lot to like about Ndella, having featured for the Cameroonian national team at the most recent FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Sushishuan also into the lineup here for the Kings. Spanish pick and roll being executed. Lee Kai-Yan pick and pop. Spain stack. Lee Kai-Yan, Sanford show. Setting that back screen for Jordan Tolbert after setting the bull screen. 6-point lead here to the Kings, but Calvin Sang just bullies his way in. Two-possession lead currently here to the Kings. Lutsenju will fire a three. And now the Sanford shows a definitely drop it tonight here for the TPPL defending champions. Biggest lead of the game for the Kings. But can they win by 22? Win that head-to-head against SCA. Calvin Sang trying to find Ndella, but he throws it away. Glenn Yang just trying to keep Jalen Harris in front of him. Yipu Pong switching. Now facing up here with Jalen Harris. And that's going to be SCA's final team foul to give before putting Kings into the penalty. Well, Lung Shihua and Choi Kwon-sai into the game, so Yipu Pong will go out along with Calvin Sang. This will move Glenn Yang to primary point guard. Here is the three-pointer by Lutsenju. So Sushishuan will leave the game. And Lim will check in. Well, that's going to be free throws now coming up. Well, that's not a good foul to give away. Well, Glenn Yang's trying to be aggressive. That's what you want, but you have to understand when you put them into the penalty. You're down by 7. You don't want to allow them to build the lead. But this is good for the Kings. Build the lead as big as possible. You must win by 22 tonight. Win that head-to-head. Top 3 teams in Group B will go on to the final 6. Final window will be in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Because if the Kings don't win by 22, they at least have to win one of their 2 final remaining games against either the Pilots or the Broncos. Glenn Yang coming off one screen. Yang goes in, tough finish. That time not going. Kings want to extend the lead to 10 points, maybe 11 if they go for a 3. Harris makes a dive, Lin, 3, corner. The Sanford shows a flying in today. Kings are on fire at the moment. Well, Sai will take his own 3. He'll try to respond, almost getting it to go, but the 3s don't drop. They've got to find other ways to score. Harris goes baseline. The foul has been drawn, so more free throws coming up for Jalen Harris. Well, there's a look at the three-pointer by Lin in the corner. Thirteen points to Jalen Harris tonight. That time unsuccessful, but still Kings now leading by 12 points. Ndella will try his luck. Bit of contact and makes that one right in the face of Jordan Tolbert. That only slices it down to a 9-point deficit. Harris again working that magic. Trying to find Lee Kai-Yan. Glenn Yang battles for it. Time nearly expiring here for Lee Kai-Yan. Goes to his left. Has to put up a tough one. That's not going to touch anything. Gilbert keeps us alive. Try to find Glenn Yang. So want to get something on this offense here. Lung Shihua trying to find separation from the mid-range. And Deller, offensive rebound. They get a 5-0 run here for South China Athletic. And Coach Hong Shishan is going to call timeout. Still the Kings holding on to a 7-point lead here in BCL Asia East against South China Athletic. We'll head down to the Kings bench to find out what they'll have to say.
Player back on the board.
Well, it's now been cut down to a 7-point deficit. Hong Shishan had to call that timeout to try to slow down any momentum being built by South China Athletic. Jalen Harris currently going to the bench. He has been their most effective player. And that's going to be a foul on the ground. And number 2 against Rodrigo Andela. This will send Jordan Tolbert to the free throw line.
Number 34, holding foul.
Coach Jordan Tolbert now in his 3rd BCL Asia team. 2024 when he was with the NS Matrix Steelers when it was known as BCL Asia Qualifiers. And last season winning the championship with Chingas Broncos in the Final Four in Ulaanbaatar. Guess he spent the summer training in Greece, working with some of the greats, training at the Waka. Nine-point lead here to the Kings. Gilbert now trying to go for an ISO. Little step through left hand. Tough move by Dominic Gilbert. Oh, he definitely learned that one when he played in Savona. How much can SCA minimize the deficit going into the halftime break? Lee Kai-Yen. Well, Guyana's got a seal off here. Good hands by Gilbert, but that's going to remain possession unless, well, Lo Yi Ting's going to call for it. A head coach's challenge, so the players will have to go to the benches and the officials will go to the monitor. Well, we're going to go to have a look at the replay to see if this decision needs to be overturned. Well, decision has been made. We're going to find out very quickly. So unsuccessful head coach's challenge. Well, no, a successful head coach's challenge has been made. So Dominic Gilbert was right. It's going back to South China Athletic.
Push strategy successful.
So 1:43 to go. Can SEA get a 2 for 3 or 3 for 2 potentially to try and level things up or maybe take the lead? Mandela finding Gilbert. Oh, Gilbert goes for it. Wide open, just goes in and out. And that would have cut it down to a 2-possession deficit. Well, Gardner keeps this one alive. Kicks out, finds Lu Tsun-Chu. A little too short as Glenn Yang comes up with a rebound. Sai Choi Kwan will pull up from the baseline, and a foul is going to be called, so free throws. Oh, Kings are just allowing this lead to disintegrate.
It's number 9, Lee Kai-yen, blocking foul.
Well, the foul is on Lee Kai-yen. Let's have a look at the replay here. Just swipes across him, that's the problem there. So it didn't take long to bring Jalen Harris back into the lineup. SCA have missed 5 free throws tonight, the 6 out of 11. This will cut it down to a 5-point deficit. Sai Choi Kwan currently the charity stripe. Makes them both. So SCA going slightly bigger as Kevon Davenport will come back in. Luke Sherwood will leave the game. 1:01 to go here in the second quarter. Kings trying to hang on. Well, Gardner kicks out. Lu Tsun-Chu wide open, another 3. This time, no problem from downtown. Second 3 for him this evening. Yang goes down the middle. Tough pass to Davenport, that's a turnover. Kings have numbers. Harris goes all the way. That goes out of bounds. And that's going back to SCA. Well, they had numbers on that play, but Sai Choi Kwan waited for the screen, finds Glenn Yang. Well, Yang picks up his dribble. Time nearly expiring here. Davenport's got to go for it. Deep 3, a little too short. And Kings can have one final play here at the end of the first half. Harris finds Tolbert. He'll fire a 3. Puts it up. And that's not going to go. And at the end of the first half, New Taipei City Kings looking for their first victory in BCL Asia East 2026 as they lead by 8 against South China Athletic. We'll leave you with some of the best highlights from the first half, but we'll be back in under 15 minutes.
第二节比赛时间终了，半场比赛结束，由谢国52领先，来访的邵南华10分。
Number 13,
Welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here at the University of Taipei, Tianmu Arena, where currently New Taipei City Kings have an 8-point advantage against South China Athletic. The second meeting between these two teams in BCL Asia East. Well, the key thing, of course, they've got to build on this lead. They must win by 22 points to win the head-to-head, in which they lost by 21 in Causeway Bay. Now, that is given the fact that if both teams get tied on the same record come the end of the BCL Asia East campaign here in Group B, which if they are, it would then be down to the team who has the head-to-head. Well, there's Nixon's lovely family. And New Taipei City Kings will have the first possession. Interesting, you compare the stats between these two teams. The Kings actually, although they are leading by 8 points, trailing 14-22 in terms of points inside the paint. Jalen Harris lead the scorer so far. 14 points, joint leading scorer with Calvin Sang. And just getting the three-pointer in the drop, extending into an 11-point lead. Well, that's a great start for the Kings. Team who haven't won yet here in BCL Asia East. Tolbert just matching up with Andela. Gilbert. A little soft in the jump hook, doesn't come up with anything. And now Kings want to run. Harris going to his left on the screen. Andela coming out and switching. Oh, Davenport, tough defense, but a better move by Harris. Harris quickly now leading score of 19 points in this game. Gilbert tries some 15. That time just getting their first field goal. But SCA, if they're not to win this game, they've got to make sure they don't lose by 22 points. Still an 11-point lead to the Kings. Joseph Lin back in the lineup here. Good hands by Calvin Sang. SCA want to run. That's going to be a foul on Jalen Harris. It's only his first personal foul tonight. Let's not look at the play from Harrison. This is a tough move, but lots of good defense, but better offense. Harris matched up with Davenport. Calvin Sang now denying the screen, trying to find some separation. Time winded down. Yipio Pong's got to make a move here. And avoids a 24-second violation. Andela fights for it. And SCA get it back. Yipio Pong pump fakes. And that's going to be a second foul on Jalen Harris. Well, Harris is elevated, but not too much of a dangerous move, but definitely a foul for sure. Yip makes the first one. Trying to cut this down to single digits. SCA slightly better from the free throw line this game. Now currently 8 out of 13. Because they'll want to win this one. Because if they win it, that more or less will probably seal the deal for them to qualify for BCL Asia East Final 6. Lutsen Chu tries to go for the three-pointer. Andela comes up with a rebound. Calvin Sang getting handoff. Davenport defended by Lutsen Chu. And that's going to be a third team foul. Well, we've got one foul to give. We haven't even played 2.5 here in the third quarter. Sang will inbound this. Gilbert thinks about it. Now goes baseline. Davenport offensive rebound. Tries to go back up with it. And that cuts it down to a 7-point deficit. That's a 6-0 run from SCA. Oh, Tolbert trying to post up. Guy that wants to go at Yipio and Pong. Double team's got to come for sure. And that's going to be a goaltending violation. And SCA might want to think about sending a double team sooner rather than later. Yip and Park. Now finding Dominic Gilbert. Gilbert tries to go mid-range and sinks that one. Well, he's got to keep scoring if that is going to be his go-to at the moment. Gilbert now moving up to 8 points. SCA only with 2 players in double figures. Kevon Davenport and Calvin Sang Lutz into another 3-pointer. Well, that's his 3rd Sanford show of the evening. The veteran. Back to a 10-point lead. Gilbert now looking to attack. Calvin Sang. Inside the paint, another little teardrop and a smooth move. Well, he is now the leading scorer tonight for SCA with 16. Well, if Kings keep scoring, they can try to hang on for this one. Told the catch is a tough one. Gardner in the corner, he's made a few tonight. And the Kings are making it rain from downtown tonight. It's the Sanford show party. That is now the 10th 3-point field goal out of 18. That's gonna be a traveling violation. Well, here's the tough play by Kevon Davenport. That cut it down to 9 points. And here was the teardrop by Calvin Sang. So Glenn Yang is checked back into action. Kings have 11 turnovers. SCA have 8. The difference has been the 3-point shooting. There's the Spanish pick and roll. Harris, oh my goodness! Jalen Harris, are you kidding me? Well, he took the entire front court defense with him. 13-point lead. Andela. SCA's got to keep scoring. Sang, rushed on the bull screen. Finds Davenport. Well, Davenport hangs in the air, can't get it. Lynn comes up with it. And now here comes Jalen Harris to pull up for a quick 3. The Kings, with their 11th 3-point field goal, could indeed win the head-to-head tonight, as now they lead by 16. SCA called timeout with 5:03 to go. Well, this one and good night to the city of Taipei. Jalen Harris taking the entire front court defense on a ride. Big time dunk. Well, it's a 16-point lead to the Kings. They could win the head-to-head.
High low. That screen, high low. Okay, Key, you get it. That's you. Okay, stop, cut through. You tight. Okay. Hey, go ahead. Wait, go ahead, John. Go ahead. Number 5, you know it. You pop and shoot close to him. Number 5, you shoot it. Hey, force with number 6.
Well, Lo Yiting had to call that timeout because when they'd made it a 7-point deficit, the 11 3-point field goals for the Kings have set a lot of daylight between them and SCA. SCA's got to keep trying to find ways to attack the gaps. Gilbert picks up his dribble. Yang's got to make a move. Yang straight to the bucket, no foul given. And that's going to be a turnover. Well, it's a moment of frustration here. Right now, SCA very much of danger of losing this head-to-head against the Kings. Harris has been on fire again. Oh my Lord! Jalen Harris with the big-time bloodline. He's done it again. SCA haven't learned their lesson. Glenn Yang goes baseline. Sang finds Davenport. Davenport bumps. Keeps it alive. Got to go up with it. Vandella goes in for the tip-in. SCA has got to refrain from losing by 22 points. Well, I don't know why you don't just go back to Jalen Harris. Tolman looking for a handout. Davenport bumps. Tolman goes mid-range, and nobody's missing in the moment for the Kings. Struggling in their opening game against SCA. Then again against the Taiyuan Puyan Pilots. But no issues tonight. Oh, Harris took a touch on it. No backcourt violation. A little bit of time left. Gilbert, excuse me. They've just got to stop that lead, getting to 22. Gilbert now third player for SCA in double figures. Just over 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Lutsen Chu going back to Justin. Oh, splits the defense. Wow. They're hot tonight. Kings making everything. Only 4 points to get to that head-to-head, which they need. Gilbert denies the screen. On to 10 with time winding down. Gilbert pulls up from 15, a lot of contact, nothing given. And Della with the offensive rebound and the putback dunk. Rodrigo Andela now puts him at a double-double of 10 rebounds. Oh, Harris continues to fire. Andela now with his 11th board. Well, Davenport goes right at the defense, and that's going to be a hard foul. I don't think it's going to be upgraded, so it's just going to be 2 free throws coming up for Kevon Davenport. Well, there's the big-time dunk again by Jalen Harris. Not once, but twice from Jalen. Well, you might want to stop him a little bit earlier, because he'll put you on a BCL Asia highlight reel. Davenport now moving up to 13 points. Anything to prevent this from becoming a 22-point deficit is going to be a huge plus for SCA. Considering and taking into fact that neither team is able to, well, that's if they're going to be tied on the same record come the end of the campaign. Because Kings could still win a game. They could still beat the Pilots, and they can still go to Ulaanbaatar and win against the Broncos. They have to play the Broncos here at home. Little ghost screen action coming from Gardner. Lee Kaye mid-range. Chase. And everything continues to fly in for the Kings. 30 out of 44 from the field tonight. Luke Sherwa back to Glenn Yang. Della quickly coming for that high screen. Nice time by Glenn Yang, and then Della finishes. As long as they keep scoring, every time the Kings score, they'll keep minimizing this deficit. And the SCA still have fouls to give. Good hands by Glenn Yang. Lukai Yang comes up with it. Well, it's going to be a turnover. There's the bump. And the finish. That's a positive 4-0 run. And a technical foul is going to be called on Glenn Yang. I'm not sure what happened there. I think it's probably he caught the ball as it came through the bucket. Let's have a look here. So the ball came in. Well, Harris will take the free throw. Jalen Harris, 27 points tonight. I mean, he is a certified walking bucket. Wang Pocher into the lineup. Sending that double screen for Jaden Gardner. Harris has got 27. Lu Tsin-Ju will fire another three. That time not going to go. Yang comes up with it. And that's a poor foul because that's going to send Glenn Yang to the free throw line. Well, the thing for SCA, I keep saying not to lose by 22, but if they can cut it down to single digits, they can definitely make some form of a comeback, because if they win this game tonight, that won't necessarily qualify them for the round of 6, because Kings will still have 3 remaining games. Kings have got to play Broncos, Pilots, and then they've got to go to Mongolia to play Broncos again.
Box up.
Glenn Yang makes them both. Back to an 11-point deficit. Jalen Harris 4 assists away potentially from a double-double tonight with the 27 points. Harris again goes to the ground. Will they keep this one alive? 10 on the shot clock here for the Kings. They could go 2 for 1. Lee Kai-Yen tries to go baseline. Good defense by its side, Choi Kwan. And SCA can now make it single digits. Davenport catch the tough one. Caught a double team. He'll go to the free throw line. And where Kings had built an 18-point lead, that could be sliced in half if Kevon Davenport makes both free throws. So it's a big moment now for Kevon Davenport. Davenport makes the first one. 15 tonight for him. He's 5 out of 7 from the free throw line. Kings can have one final play. Makes them both. Lee Kai-Yen's going to dribble this down. They want to go for one final shot heading into the final 10. That's not a bad foul to give away because it's only the first team foul. A second team foul, excuse me, against SCA if you take into consideration the technical that was given against Glenn Yang. So sideline ball coming up to the Kings. Well, they want to go to Harris. Yang tries to keep him in front. Gardner pump fakes, gets Andela off the ground. Gardner goes in and counted. Andela got caught on the pump fake. Nobody came to rotate. And very smart move by Lee Kai-Yen, just standing there, preventing Sai Choi Kwan from coming over and helping. So Chen Yo-Cho will come into the lineup here for the new Taipei City Kings. Lee Kai-Yen will go to the bench. 3.8 remaining. Gardner looking to extend to a 12-point lead. And he misses. Davenport, well, splits a defense. Gets it off in time. Well, almost got it. Well, we head into the final 10 with the new Taipei City Kings leading by 11. If they win by 22, they'll win the head-to-head against SCA. This is the BCL Asia East 2026. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the 4th and final 10. Welcome back, everybody. Final quarter coming up here at the University of Taipei Tianmu Arena. As right now, New Taipei City Kings leading by 11 points against South China Athletic, BCL Asia 2026. SCA getting first play. Bit of Spain stack pick and roll, but it looks like a zone defense is being exhibited by the Kings. We'll see how SCA breaks this down. Davenport, a little too strong. That's going to go out of bounds. Well, that's going to go back to the Kings. Kings have to win by 22. If they're going to build those points, it's got to come from Jaden Gardner, and a foul is going to be called on the ground against Andela. That's foul number 3. So baseline possession coming up to the Kings. Lee Kai-yen in bounds, trying to find Harris. Everything is going to run through him primarily on the offensive end. Holmes keeps it alive, finds Jaden Gardner. Now he can fire up. He's been on fire side here. Remains cooking. Gardner now moving up to 23 points. And that's the 13th three-pointer tonight for the Kings. SCA patiently passing around the zone. Yang calling for a screen. Final seconds winding down. Davenport's got to take it, closed out, and a big-time response by Kevon Davenport. 19 for him. SCA's leading scorer. Back to 11 points. Oh, another 3 goes flat. Are you kidding me? Jaden Gardner has just knocked down the 14th three-pointer tonight for the New Taipei City Kings. They must win by 22. Side Choi Kwan in the corner. Well, as long as they don't lose by 22, they might, and I mean just might, be okay. 5 out of 12 for SCA. Lee Kai-yen straight to the bucket, gets denied. Good block by Andela. SCA can't cut it down. Davenport goes in, finishes, and that's a 5-0 run. Kings want to get it inbound quickly. 9-point deficit. Gardner's got 26. Harris 27. He'll go for another one. No way. This is incredible. Jalen Harris, 30 points. And make that the 16th three-pointer tonight for the New Taipei City Kings. Dominic Gilbert now looking to attack. Glenn Yang will try a 3. A little too short. Kings come up with it. Leading by 12. Lynn twisting, turning. Goes out of bounds. Oh no, a foul I think is going to be called. So free throws coming up for New Taipei City Kings. That's quite a nice spin. That's a good call if you ask me. I mean, a lot of contact there when going for the swipe. So crucial free throws coming up for Lin Yenting, who's only made 1 three-pointer tonight. Kings now 7 out of 11 from the free throw line. Makes them both. There's a take by Choi Kwon side. That's a very intelligent play because why don't you send them to the free throw line? Anything SCA can do, and I'll repeat this, to avoid losing by 22 is going to be crucial. Choi Kwan making the first one. Only had 2 points the last time these two teams met. That 21-point win. We'll see how valuable that's going to be come the end of this game. As he makes them both. Still a 12-point deficit. Gardner trying to find Tolbert. Patient passing. Finds Lin in the corner. Coming up with his own rebound. Tolbert bumps, goes in, throws it down with 2 hands. And Andela right there couldn't commit himself because he didn't want to pick up his 4th personal foul. Side Choi Kwan. Len Yang coming off that screen. Time winding down here for SCA. Longsure Watt turns it over. Now they're going to make it a 16-point lead, and they do just that. And a timeout is going to be called by SCA. It's back to a 16-point lead to the new Taipei City Kings. Could they win by 22 and win the head-to-head? Well, here was the 3-point cookout show tonight for the new Taipei City Kings. Incredible display. The Kings currently shooting an impressive 16 out of 28 from downtown. 5 made by Jaden Gardner and 6 made, or 5 as well, made by Jalen Harris. We'll be back from the timeout in under 1 minute.
Okay. Reverse. Go. Here you go. Come on, you are. Hold on. After. You are strong, man. Remember it. Okay. Let's go.
Well, I think the last few plays have showed that if you turn the ball over, you've got to make every effort to get back on defense. Conversion rates so far in this game, the Kings, not necessarily has been magnificent, but both teams have had their fair share of turnovers, and both of them a combined total of 29 points have been converted from turnovers. The Kings have got to try to win by 22. Win that head-to-head. Len Yang gets that screen. Finds Andela, pump fakes. Andela goes in, Eurostep, and he'll go to the free throw line. Every big moment like this is crucial in maintaining you win the head-to-head in the event you're both tied on the same record. Well, the Kings can argue all they want. That's a good call. Andela converts it. Jaden Gardner playing point guard duties here, but they want to go back to Jalen Harris. Well, Tolbert's wide open. Davenport's got a switch. Well, it's going to remain Kings ball. 5.2 left on the shot clock for the Kings.
Kings ball.
Lukayen going off the back. Little bow wow move. Well, Tsai Choi Kwan completely turned his back to him. I think you can see that one coming from a mile away. Little bow wow. Like Mike. So Lukayen will try to extend this to a 15-point lead. Kings free throw shooting tonight quite standard, to be honest. They've only missed 4. They're 9 out of 13. Makes them both. Back to a 15-point lead. Tsai Choi Kwan. Finding Davenport. Len Yang coming off that screen. Finds Andela, goes in again. Big fella. Preventing the lead getting bigger. It's come big so far here in the second half. Vandella with his double-double, 17 points. Ali as well with 12 rebounds. Harris finding Lee. Well, Tolbert goes in, tries to play bully basketball. Vandella has that covered well. SCA could potentially, well, 13 points, not a big margin, but key thing for them now, don't lose by that 22-point margin. And Vandella in the paint now cuts it down to 11. And Hong Shishan is going to call timeout. Now remember, when I say as long as SCA don't lose by 22, the reason that will come into play and be effective, that is if both teams are tied on the same record come the end of the window. Remember, when they met in Causeway Bay in Hong Kong, China, South China Athletic won by 21. So a head-to-head means you win by more points in your second meeting. Let's listen now to Coach Hong Shishan.
Right now, move 3. Go down 2. Jaden, over the top. 3-ball handle for Jaden. Over your head. Okay. Okay. 所以正路，正路就会在这。就 Jaden, if you can pass, handle for Joe, pin down for Lou. Okay. Go. Go. Aim for 3, 1, 2, 3.
Still time here for the Kings to try to extend to a 22-point lead. Could there still be time potentially for SCA to seal the head-to-head completely with a victory, but they'd have to make a comeback. SCA only have one foul to give. Lin back in the lineup here. Gets that screen from Tolbert, takes a Hail Mary. Rebound secured by Davenport. Now if you're SCA, do you want to keep pushing? Or do you want to just hang on and not lose by 22? And Della comes up for it. Yang finds Lung Shihua. Sai Choi Kwan gets that screen. Nowhere to go here. Lung Shihua penetrates straight to the bucket now, puts it down to single digits. Back to a 9-point deficit. Well, Harris, a quiet fourth quarter, but really took over in the third. Lin finds Tolbert. Tolbert goes in, gets fouled. And that's going to be 2 free throws coming up. It's only Davenport's second foul of the game. It's a great dish shot by Joseph Lin. Very intelligent play by the Chinese Taipei guard. Lin currently 3 assists so far this evening with 9 points. Tolbert tonight, 6 rebounds along with his 11 points. He knows what it takes to win a BCL Asia East Championship like he did last season. Because he also knows what it means to qualify not only through BCL Asia East, but also the former BCL Asia qualifiers. Back to an 11-point lead. Davenport goes baseline. Davenport trying to take a body with him. That goes out of bounds, but it will remain SCA ball. So fresh 14 on the shot clock here for SCA. Lung Shihua trying to get open. Glenn Yang Trying to find some separation, goes for a quick three, it's up, and Glenn Yang cutting it down to an 8-point deficit. Well, they needed Yang time. Glenn Yang, 7 points tonight, that's his first three-pointer. 8-point deficit. Harris gets fouled again. I think Glenn Yang frustrated there with the rotations from his teammates, but Harris now with 30 points. Will try to, he has missed 2 free throws tonight, Jalen Harris, but so far he's been unguardable for the majority of the game. Because the Kings have got to realize if they don't win this by 22, they still have 3 more games where they're going to have to pick up a victory to make sure they're not tied on the same record as SCA. 10 points of separation. Sai Choi Kwan finding Glenn Yang. Quick screen from Mandela. Kings have every position, got it. Sai pulls up, quick three, that's out of control. So under 2.5. Well, the quick dump down, good hands by Davenport, but Gardner comes up with it. Harris goes in, hangs. Wow, could he be going to the free throw line for the 3-point play? Tough move by Jalen Harris. Glenn Yang finds Andela under the bucket. And as long as SCA keeps scoring and don't lose by 22, they'll still be ahead of the Kings in the rankings. Joseph Lin now hesitating. Down the middle, nice little floater, but that time missing everything. Just over 90 seconds left. Long Shirwa, Sai Choi Kwan. I think they'll just patiently hang on to possession here. 10 final seconds remaining. Yang splits the defense. Sai Choi Kwan spots up. That's not going to go. Kings have got to keep scoring. They've got to increase the lead. Well, I think they've succumbed to the fact that they're not going to win by 22 at this point. Gardner, good hands by Kevon Davenport. And that's going to be an unforced turnover. Long Shirwa unable to keep that one under control. And it looks like a timeout is going to be called as both teams will talk it over. Hong Shashan now probably wishing that had they not lost so heavy in Hong Kong, China, they could be going ahead of the South China Athletic tonight. But we'll be back to this timeout in under 1 minute.
Jalen, go first. Here. Joe. Okay, Joe. 开始 Joe. 海燕走掉。Jalen, Jalen, say back screen for JT. Joe. 可以传。Screen for Jalen. 3. Okay, let's go. Go.
Well, Harris quickly getting it down. Good hands by Glenn Yang. Gardner goes in, extends it to 12. Well, Calvin Sang back in the lineup. So one thing is going to be for sure at the end of this game. Well, there you can see Rodrigo Andela with a two-handed rim rocker. But as I was going to say, one thing for sure is SCA will still have the advantage over the Kings, but the Kings have not won the head-to-head. But that doesn't mean the Kings can't qualify. It just means they're going to have to win at least 1 or 2 more games remaining. Because after this, SCA will only have one final game, and that will be a long journey to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. There's a throwdown by Rodrigo Andela.
Screen for Jaden. Screen for Jaden. 冲出来接球。Jaden here. Pass to Joe. JT. Player for Luke. 5. Okay, we need 3. Let's go. Let's go. Go.
Well, Kings are going to keep on scoring with 30.5. You need to find 12 points somewhere, because they'll be in action again against Chinggis Broncos, as well as the Taiyuan Puyan Pilots. Calvin Sang, heavy defense, right up in the face of Joseph Lin. Lin kicks out, finds Tolbert. Good help side defense, and there you have it. Kings will pick up their first victory. Trying to find Andela here in transition. Andela will go to the free throw line. But these two teams now will be tied on the same record. But it won't be SCA who stand in front of them. The top 3 teams go to the final 6. Three-point play converted. And another timeout called. So it's irrelevant at this point because it's unlikely you're going to get the 22 points, but I guess you want to score as much as possible. Because points difference isn't going to be a factor. It's going to be head-to-head. It's actually a timeout by South China Athletics, so they'll be imagining 7 points in 13 seconds. Not impossible, but unlikely.
Okay, as soon as you pick up, you pass the ball. Check. Check first. If you can check, you ball. Right away. The ball comes in, right away, trap. Follow. This guy come. Okay, we'll say.
No foul, right?
No foul first. You go trap, try to get a steal. If you no steal, as soon as the second pass, foul, second pass. First pass, no foul. Try to get steal. Okay, ready.
Let's go.
I think you can anticipate they're going to try to double team right away. Now what's interesting is because Kings didn't call the timeout, they actually cannot advance the ball. What's inevitable is that they're going to hold on for the victory. The problem here for the Kings is it does mean indeed that they're not going to be ahead of SCA though. Kings have got 3 final games after this. They'll have to win at least 1, maybe 2 of them. Joseph Lin gets it in bounds. That's going to send Lin to the free throw line now. Lin now becomes 4th player for New Taipei City Kings in double figures. Just like I said, exciting time for him, most recently playing for the national team. Well, they've signaled 2 free throws, but it's only the 4th team foul. So no free throws coming up. It's a final 10.4. Oh, it's a foul here for sure. There's no arguments, but Gandela didn't realize that they weren't in the penalty. Gotta go quickly here. Calvin Sang finding Sai Choi Kwan. He'll fire up a three. And that's not gonna go. Big Baby with a rebound. And there you have it. New Taipei City Kings have their first win of BCL Asia East 2026, but they have not won the head-to-head. SCA hanging on. Remember, these two teams get tied on the same record come the end of BCL Asia East. It would be SCA, hypothetically, that would go through. Well, we're going to go courtside to have an interview with the player of the game, which is Jalen Harris. An impressive performance of 34 points, but a win nonetheless for the defending champions of the TPBL. I'm now with the player of the game, Jalen Harris of New Taipei City Kings. Congratulations, big win. What does it mean to get the first victory in BCL Asia East?
It's good for us. You know, we had a tough game last couple games, but I think we were able to turn it around and bring the energy today.
Now, of course, you shot the ball very well from the three-point line tonight. Is that something we're going to see in the next games?
Yeah, of course, practice, we work on it, and then, you know, come to game time, it comes easy. So hopefully we continue to carry this over.
Now, the head-to-head was important today. You had to win by 22 to win the head-to-head. You need to win at least one, maybe two more games. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, of course. You know, we're a confident team. We came out, like I said, the past couple games, and we learned from our losses, and hoping to bring that forward the next couple games.
Jalen Harris, thank you very much. All the best. Good luck, brother.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game press conference for the Basketball Champions League Asia East game between New Taipei Kings versus South China Athletics. New Taipei Kings beat South China Athletics 107-99. South China Athletics Coach Yiting Lo and Cham Yuan Tang have joined us, so may I ask you to switch off your mobile phones. The press conference will be conducted in English. Coach Lo, can you please give us your comments about the game?
I think Kings play a good game today. They have all the main players today. They have a full team against us, especially Harris. It's a tough guard to guard him, to stop him. Okay, he's just scoring, non-stop scoring. So this is tough for us. And then you have defense problems. We didn't do well on the pick and roll defense. So that's why in the first quarter and second quarter, we just keep losing. Yeah, and then we have to fix it about the defense problem in the future. Thank you.
Okay. And Cham, can you also give us your comment about the game? 给一点你的对这个球的意见。对。
我们的反手太放松了，因为一开始的时候。然后对面的三分球很准了，今天，所以我们要尽快进入状态。Stop the ball, yeah. 所以我们今天没有做好我们的防守，对 ，OK.
He says that the defense is pretty loose for today's game, and then the Kings made a lot of three-point shots, and from that point on, it's really hard to stop them. So I will now give the floor to the media to ask questions in English. I want to ask the media to first state their name and the media company they're representing. Any question?
Hello, my name is Kai Chen from Leyland Sports. I have a question for Coach Lo, because we know that in a Hong Kong game you won the Kings by 21 points. So actually, this team, I might say, it's a question if in the end you the Kings and the South SACC have to compare each other, that would the game difference will be a key point. And during this game, during the 3 or 4 quarters, once the points will be 16, so nearly 22 gaps. So what did you do at that time to stop the bleeding? And you actually you lose by 8 points, but still you won the big picture instead of doing the single points, right? So can you talk about how do you stop the bleeding? How do you keep on winning during the 4th quarter?
So I know Kings try to win today's game so bad. That's why they have a full team against us. So when we down by 16 points, we all focus on the defense. We talk about the pick and roll defense, and then the down screen defense and the handoff defense. We still focus on the offense, but offense is okay for us. Okay, everyone knows this offense already, but the defense is hard for us. The last game we didn't play against Harris. We didn't know about him much, so today he just keeps scoring on us on the down screen, 3-point, handoff attack, double screen attack. You know, we just have to learn how to stop him on defense. This is the key point for us. We stop beating. Because I think the key point on the defense on us will be the key point. Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so I have questions. A question for Coach and Cham. It's becoming a lengthy losing skid for South China, but at least the team has welcomed back Dom Gilbert and still has the advantage against New Taipei in the head-to-head matchup. What are the other takeaways you all can get from this?
You know, every game we just try to win. Yeah, we try our best to win the game. You know, every game is different. You know, we play 3 games, and it's 2 games. Especially Kings, they have different players. So when we go scouting, when we see the scouting reports, every player of the style is different. So we have to change that adjustment quickly. So in the future, we will next game we play against Mongolia. So I think it's a strong team for us. So I think the main problem of us right now is that, just like I said, it's a defense problem. Okay, we need to focus on more team defense, not individual defense. I mean, it's a team rotation, how we rotate, and then how we help each other. This is the key point for us. I think defense will bring us to the next level. Yeah.
We need to fix out the problem because next game we will match up Mongolia. Yeah, so we will watch the game tape and then fix out the problem. So we will come back stronger.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. This is the end of the first part of the press conference. We'll be back soon with the new Taipei Kings. Thank you. Welcome back to the second part of this post-game press conference. We now have with us Coach Chi Hong and Jalen Harris. Coach, we would like to have your words about this game.
我觉得对我们球队来说比较不容易啊，因为在过去2场大比分输球，要从这个低潮度过，我觉得比较难。但我觉得今天的比赛内容，防守，因为我们在修改一些防守内容，所以球员已经慢慢的，我觉得已经慢慢的有一些修正了。但至少比赛内容跟进攻方面是我们想要的。
It definitely is not easy for them after coming back from a big 2-game big deficit losses. But then the good part is that they made some changes, made some adjustments, and then changed a lot defensively, and then got this scrappy win. And Jalen, can you give your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, it was good. We needed, clearly needed that win. I think it was a good collective group effort tonight. Jaden had a great game. I think Cayenne was big for us too. Just his energy, you know what I mean? He was up tempo. He was guarding the ball. Good defense today. I think that helped carry us over the top. But I was just looking to carry this momentum into the next couple games.
Do we have questions for media in English? A reminder to state your full name and the media company you're representing.
Hello, this is Kai from Latest Sports, and I want a question for Coach Hong. And please talk about, because today you shoot 3-point very well, even better than you play in the TBBL games, because you shoot 16 3-pointers in this game. And before the game, you have to win 22 points to overlap the big loss. So today is that why you shoot that's why you shoot lots of 3-pointers from the first to the fourth quarter.
我们没有因为要比胜负分而去投大量的三分。我觉得我们从头到尾都没有觉得说一定要赢到22分，因为对我们来说，我们明天赢球，这对我们来说比较重要。因为明天赢球，我们至少拿到2胜。对，所以我们不会 focus 在说我们因为赢到22分，所以投大量的三分。其实今天很多的三分都是大空档的，所以我觉得这是我们球队一直在寻找的东西，就是找到最佳的出手机会，而不是硬投。所以今天的命中率这么高，就是因为我们找到最好的出手机会。
The team today didn't really try to win by 22 points, and like the whole strategy wasn't really focused on shooting 3-pointers just to win between 2 points. The most important thing is to win this game, and then all of the 3-pointers today came from the good ball movement, and then it was most of them are really open, so they attempted a lot of shots, and it was like a really high percentage 3-point shot. So right now they are focusing on winning the next game. That's the most important thing.
The next one is still the coach, because the last time you play with South Asia, you didn't have Harris, right? And today Harris made a lot of impacts scores a lot. So what's the difference between with or without Harris on the game?
我觉得有接人跟没有接人本来就是不一样的比赛内容啊，因为接人就是一个得分能力很强的球员嘛，那他可以创造出队友很大的机会，包括他自己，所以我们在战术设计本来就是会因人而异。那相对的，你看下半场其实接人有好几球大空档，就是我们利用设计战术对方的防守弱点，然后去针对如何攻击，所以他的今天效率值就比较高。对，那相对的，如果没有他，本来就是我们的后卫压力就会比较大。对，所以相对就是不一样的内容。
Having Jalen and without Jalen is really different. Is very, very different. The game is different. The game is played differently. As we all know, Jalen is a really big time scorer. He can create for his own shots and create for others. So he designed a lot of plays for him, and then it opened up a lot a lot of open shots for other guys, and then it increases a lot of effectiveness of the for the team. And without Jalen, like it creates a lot of pressure for the other 2 point guards. Anyone else? And then here's a question for Coach. First off, congratulations on getting tonight's win. How does it feel to have finally won after a tough start of the season? 就觉得第一场胜利的感觉。
没有，我觉得就像我说的嘛，我们经历2场大比分落败，然后球队在不是这么低谷要走过的球队本来就比较困难，尤其大家在于今年大家看到我们球队的评价本来就不是这么好，那我觉得球员至少挺过来，然后依照我们的步伐再继续走，我们要去调整到我们的目标，我们要准备的备战内容，所以我觉得这是一场好的比赛，对我们来说。
Obviously, it's not really hard. It's really hard for a team to come to fight back after like 2 big losses. But I guess it's the part of the game, and then they have to move forward. Like, so I guess this game is a really good bounce back win for them. And for Jalen, how does it feel for you to finally get the win here in BCL Asia East? And how optimistic are you that this could be the start of good things for you and New Taipei moving forward?
I think it's good to get the win. Obviously, you always want to win, but I think for our group, you know, our energy, like you said, coming off 2 tough losses, I think it was big for us to get a win today. And you know, we're confident in every game. I think we can beat any team in the BCL. We feel that way, you know, anybody we play, we feel like we can beat them. So I think it's just carrying over this momentum from this win, and then you know, just staying mentally locked in on, you know, the game plan and the upcoming teams we have next, and I think we'll be all right.
And for you personally, how does it feel to be competing in a FIBA club competition for the first time after introducing yourself with the Jordan men's team in national competitions?
It was good. You know, I just love to play, to be honest. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I was, you know, more excited to play. Got to play with Jordan Tobert a little bit, Jaden Gardner some more. So, you know, that was clearly exciting for me. But just in general, anytime you can roll the ball out is fun for me. So I'm just, you know, excited and glad to be here.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Jalen. The post-game press conference is officially over. Thank you all.